Hello, home buyers, sellers, and investors, first time home buyers. Welcome back to the Real Estate Show. I'm your host, Nagaraj Annaiah, your Bay Area realtor. And yes, we skipped a week. I'm traveling in Italy, soaking in the architecture, history, and yes, even a little bit of a real estate inspiration. But don't worry, while I was enjoying a little pasta and pizza, was still in full swing helping clients right here in the Bay Area. Now let's start with this one. We just closed a 1.25 million commercial property in Sunnyvale. It took 4 months of patience and persistence. Originally listed at 1.85 million, this 0.37 acre at two auto related tenants bringing in about $6,000 in rent. But during our due diligence, phase one environmental inspections raised their concerns. The seller was not willing to do a phase two, not sure why. This family was owning this property from last 30 years. The phase one was saying that there was a gas station and there are no reports that tanks underneath tanks were not removed. But we negotiated hard and ultimately got it for a 1.25 million, a win for the buyer and a great learning experience. uh, I think I will talk more about this, especially a commercial properties, how it works, and sometimes if you are lucky you can make a great deal of the commercial properties, since especially in a Sunnyvale to get it for a 1.25 million, it's a great deal. I can really think about it as a great deal, because it's a lot of prospects are there, especially if you're doing in business related activities, right? Now then, one more is like we helped a growing family upgrade their home in a Fremont to a beautiful five-bedroom home in a Livermore. Their budget was under 2.5 million and we secured it for a 2.505 million deal. It's just a 5k over asking. The joy of seeing a families find their dream space that never gets old for me, like never. This family was like, they had two kids and the kids were adult, almost like they were got placed in the companies around, and they wanted their future plans with the families kids getting bigger, right? Like they wanted a bigger homes. But I'm very happy they can we were able to find a house uh, close to 2.5 in Livermore. I think Livermore, especially a lot of families around in Fremont, Santa Clara, because they can't afford bigger houses because the homes around in Santa Clara and Sunnyvale are so expensive, or even in the Fremont, right? Like for bigger homes, a lot of families are moving to close to more of a Sanoke side, or even as a Livermore side, San Ramon, Dublin, for a bigger homes. Another success, after 6 months of searching, we finally found the perfect home in Santa Clara for a family who's been in the US for 18 years. 18 years, they wanted to stay closer to the rental property. They were renting out in the same neighborhood around almost 10 years, and they wanted to find the right match, and we did it. Just handed them the keys last week. This family also, like, the kids were growing up, the rental property were used started becoming too smaller, two bed two bath, and they wanted to find a bigger house for their family. Thank you for trusting me, and we were able to pull it off. This house was listed for close to a 2.1 million. The seller once always wanted to sell it for a 2.3 million. 2.3 million. Previous comparable was for close to like 2.28. It was just sold for a 1 month back, but for 2.28 million, and the seller was trying to push it for a 3 million, 2.3 million. We were lucky to get it a deal for a 2.155 million. 2 point that's a 150k lesser than the list price, like 150 lesser than the last comparable price. A lot of times I'll be talking about some of the terms which you might not be aware. If you have any questions on the juice, just to do ping me, or on the chat box, in the YouTube chat comment section, and I can help you out. And one more Hayward story. A lot of people have a mixed feelings about this area, but there are truly safe, beautiful pockets. We started the journey 4 months ago with the budget of 750K. Last week, we got their offer accepted on a 920K single family home. The beauty of this family is husband is in Australia, wife is here. This deal crossed the borders and showed the hard work and teamwork really do pay off. Especially being husband being in Australia and wife being here, right? Finding a perfect home for them was really made a wonders for me. Like, and happy for them because this 920K, this home is like 3 bed, 2 bath, great neighborhood. Very happy for them. One more thing is in South San Jose, uh, 95123 zip code. I met this lovely family just 2 days ago. Wrote their first offer on a home listed at 1.45 million, and our offer got accepted for just for 1.6 million. Incredible speed and trust. If you see around like the data what I'm trying to provide, some families are taking 6 months and some families are taking 15 days or even hardly for the 3 days. But I'm always there to help them out there on the house buying journey and the selling journey. But this house is a close to 1800 square footage. It's as a sunroom, bigger lot, close to 7000 square footage. A lot of people have a mixed reactions, especially in this market where the stock market are going up, down. So many things are varying, right, every day. But I can tell you, uh, this is the time if somebody wants to jump in and trust in there, this is the time they can get a perfect house for them. Not a perfect house, like basically get it for a good price. Oh, wait. I need to talk about one more 3.1 million single family home in Sunnyvale. This family I just met around 3 to 4 weeks back. They locked down their ideal home. A quick note for the agents and buyers: many sellers nowadays asking for a short rental of 15 to 20 days, but remember those rent backs comes with the contractual expectations. So we need to structure them right, and because especially you are first time home buyers, you want to understand, is the rent back is safer? Will the basically the seller would be handing over the keys on the right date? Will they keep the property during that after the closing, right? Like that's where we play in the role, putting in the contract well, so that it is makes a deal breaker. And it so that, and I was very happy for them. This was like listed around close to 2.9 million. Initially the seller expectations was for 3.4 million because they were listed for 3.1. They reduced the price for 2.9, and since there were so many changes in the price, I was sure their expectations are close to around 3.1. But the deal breaker for always for them was the rent back, 15 days rent back. Happy that we were able to structure the purchase agreement such that it was we were able to win the bid. uh, but let me not forget also the sold condo in a Milpitas, originally listed at 959K. Originally listed at 959K. In today's market, even getting a serious buyers can be a tough, especially in the condo market. I'm noticing especially the condo market around the Bay Area, it's becoming kind of a tight. It's not like it's not getting sold, it is like takes a 3 to 4 weeks even getting a one offer out there. Initially first week we had just a three three home buyers came in for the open house. Second week during open house nobody came in, luckily one home buyer came in and checked after the open house. Third week also there was a drop, just a one home buyer came for the open house. uh, but after the open house we were because of the way we structured the deal, the way we presented the deal, listed it, we listed such that 2 years of free HOA, 2 years of free HOA. This especially brought in a lot of attention, and we were able to get into a contract for a 949K. The previously around November time frame, the same neighborhood, with little bit of upgrade, I sold around 982k, but now we are seeing around close to what, 32, around 32k, 34, 33k below the last sold price. That's what I'm noticing. Condo market is bit slowing down, condo market, because a lot of home buyers, especially in the condo market, right, a lot of home buyers are the first time home buyers, and they always worry about the HOA fees. How do we handle this HOA fees, right? So that is why, like, especially if you're a seller, you need to come up with some creative or innovative ways to attract more home buyers. That's where I play a role, like bring in my innovative experience so that you can structure your listing so that way it makes a difference. you know I think since we are talking about a condo market, I just want to quickly touch upon on the Florida, what's happening on the Florida, and talk about the Santa Clara County overall, how it is performing in, uh, and then the Santa Clara city. Listeners, you are listening to Real Estate Show, myself, Nagaraj, Annaiah. We are discussing about the Bay Area real estate. Yeah, so it's been a big, beautiful week. But now as we discuss, now let's shift the gears. After the Surfside condo collapse in 2021, Florida rolled out a new regulations requiring a detailed inspections and a massive reserve funds. Some condo owners are now being hit with a surprise special assessments, sometimes even a 50,000 to 100K, add to the financial restrictions from Fannie Mae, and you've got a market in turmoil. So could the Bay Area be headed in that direction? Let's take a closer look. As I was telling you earlier also, right, I'm seeing a completely slower down in the Milpitas, and we are noticing around 20k, 30k lesser than the November time frame or a last summer time frame, where the houses are being sold, especially in the condos. That's not the case in the single family home. And now to understand more, right, like let me talk about, here's what the numbers tell us for a Santa Clara County and condos and the townhomes. Median list price around 899k dollars. Price per square footage $743. Average days on the market, as I was keep telling you, is a 58 days right now for the condos in the Santa Clara County. Median days around 28 days. Totally right now across condos in the Santa Clara County, 759 active listings. 759 active listings. 26%, as I was telling you, 26% of listings have dropped prices. So the market index, action index, is 49. But you're seeing that kind of a softening around, right? Like if you compare to 100 is a 49, market action index is 49. So we are seeing a softening in condos, especially in the Santa Clara counties. Okay, drilling down into market segments, high-end three-bed condos are listed around 1.59 million, while entry-level one-bed condos come in at 550k dollars. 550k dollars. The time on market is relatively consistent across segments, about 21 to 28 days. 21 to 28 days. Okay. Now, since we talked about the overall county, now let's talk about one particular, take an example of the Santa Clara city and understand what is the median list price. The median list price around 847k dollars. Price per square footage are $760. Average days on the market 53 days, and inventory for overall for the Santa Clara, being a smaller city, is 74 units. See, compare the data. 31% of listings have reduced their prices. The county, overall, the county was like 26% of listings, but overall, city wise, is at 31%. That's almost 5% up. I think market action index are close to 50. Still, it says sellers market, but as I was telling you, like it's kind of a softening in around. Okay. Price tiers include three-bed townhomes at around 1.44 million, two-bed units mid 700Ks, one-bed condos at 545K. If somebody is thinking about I can't buy under 550, there are condos for available for 550, but only thing is the HOA. HOA is the one that is basically because a lot of, as I was telling you, a lot of home buyers for the condos are the retired families who wants to downgrade from bigger homes to a single one bed condos. uh, are the first time home buyers, right? Like, so for them the HOA might be technically might be causing the like basically telling them not to go for it. Maybe I can go for another 750K, but anything under a $1 million, I think new norm for the HOA fees are $550. Okay. And days on the market remains mostly, as I was telling you, 21 to 38 days range, right? Like, because this is what the same thing, an example I gave you about the Milpitas. I'll try to cover for the Milpitas and other cities also, depending on the time availability. Correct. Now let's talk about the very important single family homes in the city of Santa Clara, right? Uh, Single family homes median list price is 1.875 million. Price per square footage, price per look out, $1,196. Average days, some of the homes are staying, average days on the market are like 167 days. I think some of the homes, like not all the homes, depending on the price per expectations, and median days on the market. Santa Clara city is especially going around within a 14 days. Within a 14 days, it is going on. Market action index is like 76. It still is a very very hot sellers market, very very strong sellers, hot sellers market. Four bed homes are selling for 1.7 to a 2.4 million, 2.49. I would say like more of an, it's closer to a towards more than a 2.5, right? Lower home prices still move within a 10 to 21 days, showing a strong buyer's demand even with the rising prices. Notice on that. Showing a strong buyer demand even with the rising prices. That's very important. Okay, and let's, since we talked about the Santa Clara city, just quickly touch upon on the single family homes in Santa Clara County also. Median list price are nearly 2 million. Price per square footage is $1,055, and 18% price cuts, 3% price increases. Market action index is still strong sellers market. So what does it all this mean? What is the takeaway for comparing? Because I was saying you, condos are cooling slightly with increased inventory and more price cuts I'm noticing in around. And single family homes, especially entry level ones, are still flying off the market. Single family homes is been tough. A lot of people are thinking in like, there are like market are slowing down, market might collapse. That might not be the case, because especially I was telling you, single family homes are very hard to get, and with especially with the bigger lot, right? And being at a higher price range also, uh, are still flying off the market, especially the entry level ones. We are not in a, as I was telling you, like we are not in a Florida style crisis, but if HOAs don't manage reserves and a deferred maintenance, we could see a buyer confidence fade fast in older buildings. I think I talked about this also in the Fremont, especially some of the condos, especially right, older condos. There were like, they were hit by 30,000, 40,000 HOA maintenance, special management fees for this. Okay, they were it, and especially they need to cover it all at with one time, right? Like it becomes harder, especially because who, lot of homeowners, right? Like they might be basically, their salaries are not so good enough, and if they need to be paying that much. But it's one thing to notice, if somebody wants to buy a condos for the investors as a rental thing, it's a good time for them, because if they're bringing with the 50 to 60% cash, right? Because especially as I was telling you, there's a lot of tax write-offs where you can depreciation factors where I keep talking about, where you can do a condos or can be depreciated faster, especially due to the construction. But that you need to work with your tax consultant. How does the depreciation works? Uh, because normally the depreciations works around 27 years or 26 years around, but going with a faster depreciation with a short term rental loopholes, right, you can try to depreciate is as little as 1 or 2 years. So that's where the investors play around the tactics. But if you want to consider buying in a condo, because there's a lot of drop in, it's especially good for the investors, or somebody wants to buy in for a second homes, right? It makes in, if you're, as I was telling you, if you're a buyer there are opportunities in a condo space. If you're a seller single family, like especially if you're a seller, single family homes are still hot, especially in the sub $2 million market. Listeners, you're listening to real estate show from Nagaraj, Annaiah. um, Now let's talk about Milpitas and other couple of things. All right, let's talk about Milpitas, a city that's often overlooked. But if you ask me, it's one of the most underrated markets in the South Bay. Let's start with the condos. The median list price is sitting at $1 million, 1.099, or like 1.09 million. New listings are coming in just slightly lower at about 1.05 million. I'm noticing like a lot of people, because of the market, condo market is slowing down, especially in a Milpitas. Unless it is needed, they are not selling out. In my case, also the one of the condo, the seller moved to India. They shifted permanently to India, and that was the reason they're selling it. A lot of people are thinking in like, the sellers or the homeowners are still thinking also, if it's not selling, okay, it doesn't matter, we are going to rent it out, because still the rental market is still higher, right? See, price per square footage around $2,725, which is still relatively affordable for the Bay Area. Average days on market or 38, median days on the market is 28, and we are seeing a 27% of those properties drop their prices, while only 5% are increasing. Now this is important. Milipitas condos are still in a strong sellers market, uh, but I see there's a lot of price drops, but the market has been slowly cooling. If that trend continues, we might start seeing a price adjustments in, because this report was for just a couple of days back. This overall Melbeta's market, right? At the top end, you're looking at three bath townhomes around 1.29 million, average about 7 days. And townhomes, especially see, in the condo, I was keep telling you, there's even a single floor condos like a apartment style, or a apartment, even the townhomes. Both are the home ownership is a condo, where a lot of people has a confusion. Townhomes means the land belongs to the homeowners. No, it's not. It's still owned by a condo, right? But townhomes are still doing better, because it's basically there's a kind of a privacy, or like nobody stays on the up or down, right? So that's why, like, a three bed condos, as I was telling you, 950 is around staying active, but the townhomes are selling a little bit faster. Okay, now let's move on to single family homes, because this is where the it gets interesting. The median list price around 1.69 million. New listings are coming in around 1.57 million. Price per square footage is strong, $1,000 per square footage. Average days on the market is 55. Average days on the market is 14, and only 21% of homes are seeing a price reductions. As I was telling you, single family homes are very less price reductions. Now here is what that really means. At the luxury level, we are seeing a four-bed homes around 8,000 to 10,000 square foot lots listed around 2.7 million, 2.79 million, around 2.8. They're moving very fairly quick. As I was telling you, single family homes even around 2.83 millions are just goes very crazy. At the entry level, a three-bed home around 1.3 million is still highly competitive. But if you're a buyer in the price range, you need to move fast and write clean offers. Write clean offers means zero contingencies. That's what they're looking in. I was telling you, in Hayward also, we put it as a zero contingencies. More than 3% of EMD, earnest money, is deposit. Like we put on 5% earnest money. Milipitas, the quick takeaways like Milipitas remain a strong sellers market, but the condo side is starting to cool. Inventory is rising, and if demand softens, we could see a downward price pressure. That's your Milpitas real estate and Santa Clara related. Like I'm Nagaraj Annaiah, Bay Area Realtor, here to bring you the data and the real life stories behind the numbers. I was talked with the stories in the beginning. That's all the real life stories, what happened on the last week. If you have any questions, we want to strategize your next move or just want to know what your home is worth, connect with me anytime at nagarajhomes.com or go to YouTube, subscribe to my channel. Um, and anytime like this, if the houses are not selling and if you want to list your home and would like to understand, get one more honest opinion, right, do give me a reach out. It's easy to connect with me. Also go to nagarajhomes.com and click on the WhatsApp icon. That's how you connect with me. Thank you for listening to the real estate show. Be well, be informed. I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you.